Hello, I'm Kelly Bohm, and today I get to sit down with my friend Pat Boris, the incredible owner of Anytime Auto Glass and Tint. He's an incredible guy that leads with faith and has built his team from trusted relationships. He's committed to deeply investing and mentoring young people, and his core philosophy is pretty simple: have fun, help people, and make money, and all in that order. Our conversation today is packed with his wisdom on leadership, life skills, and staying true to old school values in a world that is constantly changing. This episode is sponsored by Anytime Auto Glass and Tint, your trusted Arizona experts for auto glass repair, replacement, and tinting. They're locally owned, faith driven, and committed to making every customer feel like family. Learn more at anytimeautoglassaz.com. Hey, Pat, thanks for joining
Hey,
me today.
well, thanks for having me, Kelly. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Of course, you guys, listeners, we had a little trouble with the Zoom, and Pat was just saying how much he loves technology, and he really
Uh-huh.
loves social media.
Right,
Tell
right.
me about that. Tell me about your style. How do you start the business with a pad of paper? That's how you like
Yeah, yeah. So we just went out and did work. I didn't have any glass accounts. I would prepay my vendors like in cash, and they would just like they would keep a notepad,
Yeah.
and I would keep a notepad, and they'd be like, "Hey, you're out of money. Like, please drop more off." And then we went like the first 3 months without like nobody was doing any accounting, right? Like there was money coming in and there was money going
Yeah.
out, but nobody did like any formal accounting or um so I had my wife help, and she didn't really have any experience in accounting. So she gets like the first few months done, and then we found a bookkeeper. And the bookkeeper came in and like was like, well, everything you did needs to be redone. You guys didn't do it correctly.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
so we got the crash course on the back end. All I knew is that if we could go out and we could help people and they would trust us to do their windshields, they would
Mhm.
be successful. And we went from like 100 a month in November to like 100 a week in January. Um,
Oh my gosh. What year was this?
this was 2009 and 2010.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
Pat,
um,
that's crazy.
yeah, it was I don't know if you believe in like I don't know what you would call it. But I used to watch the movie The Secret, and
Yeah.
I did a
Yeah.
lot of self-help and a lot of motivational stuff. And I told my wife like, hey, we're gonna do like my first year in business, our first year in business, we're gonna make $1 million. And at the end of that first year, I think we finished the books. We did $1.1 million in business, and that was and we just knew it, and we planned on it, and we put it out there to the universe or to God, however
Yeah.
believe. I believe in both. I believe that energy and spirituality and God, they're all intertwined. Um, so yeah, it was just this great story of happen chance, right place, right time. And this was coming off the recession in 08 and '09, where
Right.
companies wanted to uh, rather than helping their employees because there was a recession, they looked at an advantage to hold them more hostage. They're more beholden. It's harder to find a job. We can cut
Right.
pay. We can do these things, right? Like this whole corporate mentality that people are numbers. So myself, I left a company in '09 to start
An
this.
auto glass company, or was it something?
It was an auto glass company,
Okay.
because we had endured multiple pay cuts over the 2 years, and threats of downsizing and different things like that, right? So I went out on my own, and before you know it, that January, there was probably 20 people working here. So it was just right
That's
place,
awesome.
right time, and everybody was just looking for like my vision was like I just need to feed my family and you guys need to feed your family. So let's just do this. Let's make it work. And Now we're here.
Right. I think that's so amazing. I'm a woman of faith. I don't know if you know this or not, but my husband and I were in full-time ministry when we were first married.
Oh, wow.
My husband was a pastor. We did that for 6 years. He was doing a lot of nonprofit work at the same time too. Like he was on the board at the local YMCA, and then he was mentoring and coaching one of the coaches at Syracuse University.
Okay.
We had felt like God was saying to us, like, you need to do something different. But it was scary because we were making a paycheck working in a church
Right.
doing doing work and it was but and doing the work and it was very secure. But we really felt like a calling, like we need to step out and start a coaching company, coaching businesses, and all of that. But it was scary to step out, but I do feel like our faith played a big role in us, like kind of releasing our hands and our grip on everything so tightly and trusting that it was all going to work out. So I'm with you, like the universe, God, whatever it is,
Yeah.
you have to believe in that and trust it and keep your mindset in the place that it's going to work out.
Well, it's wow. I did know that about you. And I've made it a point to express to people very publicly within the company and outside the company, how God has guided and protected and shaped this company. I really got tired of this pushback, in like, 20, 21, 22, this, political correct, like you can only think what we think or else you're wrong, right? So in January of, I believe it was 23, we sent a card to 10,000 of our customers. And it was a Happy New Year card, and it referenced God, and it was the analogy of you're on a plane, right? And God is the pilot, leave your baggage at the door, put your seatbelt on, relax, right? And I got a lot of mixed feedback about that, whether or not we were going to get a horrible reviews and all these things. And um, we did not get one. We did not get one negative, and we've since and that gave me the confidence and the permission to not keep things separate anymore, right? Like this, there's the work pat, and we don't talk about this, and we don't sit right. You know what I mean? No, we have all kinds of people from all walks of life that believe in all sorts of things here in this company. We respect that. But my beliefs are my beliefs, and I'm entitled to them, and your beliefs are your beliefs, and you're entitled to them. But I know that God has put us on this path, and our tagline is more than just a piece of glass. There's so much. I mean, just
Mm.
I mean, when you start with young people, right? Like young people getting into jobs, like they're not prepared. They don't have the skills they don't have the communication skills. Let's just start at the very basics, right? Like all the things that are happening, which is why I hate technology, right? Like it just isolates people,
Agreed.
right? So there's so much that we can do. Even pushing people to use their insurance to keep, to go to the dentist, to go to the doctor, to take care of themselves, and then have a work-life balance, like all these things that are should be common sense, they're not. um
Right.
and and as far technologically as our world has advanced, the human race has not, right? The human aspect of advancement, yeah, we got nicer cars, but we've actually regressed because
Right.
of a lot of this technology. So
Right. I know.
um
Do you hire a lot of young people?
we do. I
Yeah.
am tremendously optimistic about the future of our country and the future of our business, because of the talent that we have. I would say there's probably 15 people under 25 here, and a few that are, just turned 21, and
Okay.
this is, their first job, right?
Okay.
So I don't know about you, but somebody took me under their wing when I was young, and they mentored me.
Right.
And they helped me. They helped me personally. They helped me professionally. They helped me get ahead. And and young people want that. They want to know how to get from A to B,
Right.
and this is past a parenting thing, right? So if our company can bring these people in, give them an opportunity, give them a home, mentor them, teach them, and then as our company grows, keep creating room for them to move forward, right? Then I think it's a win for everybody. And really, when you get down to it, and you're in your 40s, almost 50s, you're not doing it for the money, and you're not doing it because uh, you have to anymore. I mean, yes, I have to work, but my biggest joy, my satisfaction is helping people become something or doing things that they didn't realize in their heart or their mind or their soul that they could do. And they need permission, they need encouragement, they need love, and they need somebody to stand next to them and believe in them and
Right.
and let them make mistakes because
Right.
we did. Um, so
Yes. And what a privilege. I feel like I'm in complete alignment with you. I'm 45 and I feel like that's my role in my
mhm,
company. I mean, my purpose, my business is relationships and helping the companies we work with to grow relationships with their customers and their referral partners. So I feel like it's a noble cause what I'm doing. But
right.
even more than that, it's my ability to make an impact with the team that works beside me, that have linked arms with me. I have their back, they have mine. I can be an encouragement. I feel like a mom, or I like to say I'm an aunt or an older sister. I don't like to be the mom, the old one. But I love being able to empower other people
Right.
and to help them grow. So, do you have a formal mentorship program that you follow? Do you have people in place that do it? Is it more like, like being a parent, they pick up more from what you do than what you tell them to do? They people are watching you and how you respond to things, or like
Yeah, so
how
it's
do you do
it's
it?
both. There's nothing formal. And the reason for that is that you can't design a program for the millions of personalities. And you can't design a program like for the past and how you were brought up and what you were raised. What are your morals and values? Like I learned a long time ago, if you're treating everybody the same, you're treating them wrong, right?
Mm,
Like nobody uh, is just like me. And I need to meet you where you are. I don't need to try to convince you to come to me. So when we communicate and we mentor and we teach and we help, um, we're very arrogant in our mindset if we think that there's only one way to do it and it's our way and there's only one way to communicate. I need to learn how to be a chameleon in a very positive sense that if you need to hear something like this, I need to be intelligent enough to understand that and recognize it. It
yeah.
might not be that you're incapable. It might just be that I'm not an effective communicator, right? Like, so being able to recognize the individual. Some people don't need help in A, but they need some guidance in B,
Right.
and vice versa. So I don't believe there's a program.
Yeah. How do you hire other people like you? Like, are there other people on your team that you're like, you know what, I can count on them to lead and nurture and mentor like me? Do you have other people around you that are
Yeah. So
like that?
yeah. So I would say that our whole entire company has that mindset where our culture is very important here.
Yeah.
How we interact with each other and how we treat each other and our vision and our mission. What I'm finding with these young individuals is that they are very, very focused on vision and mission. And are you say who you are? Like,
Hmm.
do you do the things you say you do? Like, look at how many corporations have great commercials, great ad campaigns. They bombard people with propaganda, but it's a joke. It's not truly who they are. It's not truly what they believe, and it's not truly what they practice, right? Like so. One thing that I would say that we do is we only hire from within, from people we know, like, and trust, right?
Right.
So I might send a message or an email to 100 people that, hey, we're hiring here, and those we don't subscribe to Indeed, or everybody here knows everybody because they're connected through somebody else, right? And birds of a feather flock together. Like I have an analogy that, uh, nuns don't hang out with prostitutes, right? Like that's just, you're not going to find it, right? So if you've got good people and
Yeah.
like, and trust them, then most likely they're surrounding themselves with other people that are like-minded. So we only recruit from within our realm of people that are here.
Same. I hire friends and family. And one of the girls that works for me, her daughter works for us, and she's kind of talking to me about the other daughter. She's like, it kind of stresses me out a little bit though, because we're putting all of our eggs in this one basket. But you want to work with people you
Mhm.
enjoy and that you know and trust, and you know they have your back. And
Right,
I know if I hire my sister-in-law, who I have, and she's worked for me for 4 years, that
right,
girl will die for me. And I would do the same for her. I will go to bat for her. My loyalty lies with her and my friend, like, and her daughter. Like, I'm protecting these people, and they're doing the same for me.
right, right. It's a whole different level. And I don't believe, there was such this big push. Like if you listen to Mike Rowe or you know anything about like what he's doing with the apprenticeships and the trades and how many available jobs, there was this huge push that anything that required work, manual work, right, in the trades was horrible, and we got to go to we got to go to college, and we got to find this corporate job. Um, I'm here to tell you, I've never worked a corporate job, and I never would. I just don't fit in that environment, because I don't believe we should restrict. If we're all for people to have um, individuality and be able to express that individuality, then why are there so many rules that stop anybody from being an individual,
Right.
especially in the corporate setting? Right?
Hmm.
Like if we're going to agree that everybody's different and we have to love and accept everybody for their differences, what we do here is we take the good from everybody. We focus on the good. We promote them to grow that.
Hmm.
And if your current position isn't necessarily the right seat on our bus, how can we find a position or create a position? Because, as we grow 30% year over year, we're constantly recruiting, hiring, changing, and building this amazing team. And then the other thing we do is we do that together as a team. We have a leadership team that meets, and then our leaders meet with their manager, below them. And I just don't believe, I think this country specifically has gone way too far in the wrong direction. And they have people want old school morals and values in their life. And they don't just want it in their home and with their children or at their church. They would really, really appreciate it if they could count on that from the businesses they do business with.
Hmm.
And I believe that people want to work in an organization that actually fosters that, empowers their people, lets them do the right thing. And I just I think we have to go backwards in some of our thinking. The progressive thinking that so many people have as it pertains to business is actually the exact opposite of what the consumer wants, needs, and appreciates.
Yeah. Has that been a hard stance to take in your company, or do you feel like you've been aligned, like everyone's been aligned with those thoughts, your
No,
customers and employees?
I believe that the reason for our success is that we have these, and it's
Hmm.
clear, and we have a standard, and it really, have fun, help people, make money, right? That's
What is that again? Have fun and help people make money?
have fun,
Mhm.
help people, and make money. That is the recipe
Okay.
for any business to be successful. If your people and yourself are passionate about what you're doing, and you're having fun and you're helping people, that is just gonna energy, like walk into a room, right? Or watch somebody walk into a room that has a great energy. Like it can change the whole entire, right? The whole entire experience. Watch
Yep.
somebody walk into a room with a negative energy, right? They can kill, it's cancer, right? So,
Really?
so no, I believe it's actually the reason we're growing.
Mhm. Awesome. Yeah, I do think, especially in a home, a mother or a father, a husband or a wife can set the tone for the entire family. If I'm
Mhm.
grumpy, if I'm stressed,
Right.
I go into the kitchen and bring that, it sets the tone for the entire family. I think, and as a business owner, like it starts from the top down on how
Hmm.
you show up, how you deal with stress, how you deal with conflict or a challenge
Right.
sets the tone. And I do love that too. Like we can make a choice. Like how am I going to show up today in my home with my family, with my husband, with my children, and how am I going to show up with my coworkers?
Right.
Such a privilege.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Absolutely. And I think too many people put the wrong thing in first place. They would take making money first, which would allow them
Right.
to have fun. And sure, if we help people, great. But as long as we're making money, that's their priority.
Right.
Um, I, I believe money is the byproduct of doing the first two things really well.
So what, I mean, what if you weren't able to make money and you weren't helping enough people? You know, there's
Mhm.
some people who their businesses fail. Where do
Right.
you think it goes wrong? Did they pick the wrong industry? Are they focused too much on money? Like, why do you think you're successful and someone else isn't? Because some things don't work. And they especially say like that
Yeah.
three-year mark is when you know like your business is going to make it. Like if you can get through those first 3 years as an entrepreneur. Some
So,
is it a bad idea?
like, okay, look, if you have need and want and affordability, right? Like if you look out into any idea, my son brought an idea to me the other day, and it was a great idea,
Yeah.
but not in this economy, right?
Okay.
Like so if there's a need and there's a desire, and then, so you have all those factors, right? I mean, like I would, think that there's somebody out there that wants to, knit, pot holders, and sell them for $30. It's just, there's no demand, there's no market. And
No
even though
margin.
you're having fun and
Yeah.
you're trying to help people, it's just not going to work, right? So if you put all those things together, right, and you have the industry
Mhm.
and the knowledge of the industry, and you have the need, and the market says yes, right, because that's what happens, supply and demand, that's what creates this amazing American uh,
Mhm.
entrepreneurial experience. um, then I would say it's action. Like if you have all
Yeah.
that, then it's action. Like I am not just like technology. I think, but I don't spend all my time. There's a quote that says, dreams go to die in the planning stage, or something to that effect, right? Like there's a lot of people who just spend a lot of time thinking and not doing. Um, I learned from a very young age from my father to just do it and then correct, right? Like you don't go from 0 to 100, but you have to start. And
Yeah.
if you don't start, and if you don't um, do the work, then all the planning and all the strategizing and all the meetings in the world are going to do nothing for your business. You have to just do it.
Yeah. That's actually why I'm in business and why I have a company. Because what I'm doing is not rocket science. I'm not doing brain surgery. I'm not saving
Mhm.
lives. I'm literally sending people text messages from a business owner. I'm sending them emails. I'm sending them gifts and handwritten cards and helping my clients with scheduling their events and communication. But the business owners I work with, they aren't going to do it. They're going to get frozen by indecision, by it needing to be perfect, by second guessing themselves.
Mhm.
So the fact that I do it is what makes me different.
Right.
Because people they just get frozen in like indecision or they're like making it perfect. I think that's something that does make some entrepreneurs that we're wired differently. We're like okay with things not being perfect. We're like, we'll figure it out.
Right.
I'll put out the fire if there's a fire. I will apologize if I mess it up. I always say it's better to ask for forgiveness than permission.
Yeah.
I learned that from my parents, my dad. So is your dad an entrepreneur? Was your mom? What is your family? How did you grow up?
Um, so originally, my parents were farmers in the Midwest, dairy
Oh,
farmers.
where in the
Um,
Midwest?
Wisconsin.
Okay, I'm from Indiana. Okay.
Okay. Started a family very, very young. They actually are going to celebrate 60 years, their anniversary next month. So we're super excited about that. Um, be honest, my dad didn't finish high school when they moved out here in the early 80s. Um, he built industrial buildings. And then he rented them. He has done so much in his life. It was just fearless ambition, right? I've seen him do all kinds of things. And yeah, he made mistakes and but he did it. He figured it out, built custom homes, right? Like he built the home we grew up in. It didn't matter to him. There was nothing that was too big for him to tackle. He spent a few years uh, donating his time after work to build this church in Queen Creek, this Catholic church. Like all the things that he has done or participated in, it's just been spectacular. And he just had this courage about him, and nobody could tell him no. And and he didn't care to ask. I don't need your permission to go be great. And he built an amazing family. My brother is also an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur. Still married 60 years. They've got 4 kids, and we're all married. And then I don't know how many grandkids and great grandkids, but there's 47 of us when you add them all together, from those 8 adults. So they've had a tremendously blessed life. They've been very supportive of a lot of different organizations, and I would say that God has led their lives from day one. When you're husband and wife and you're farmers and you're working on your farm, plus you both have real jobs, during the day in the early years, plus running your farm. Work ethic is huge, and they instilled that in us. You just go after it. You follow your dreams. Don't let anybody tell you no.
I think we were raised similarly. I think we can thank our parents for the fearlessness that we have.
Yeah,
It's pretty
yeah,
incredible.
and I'm sure your parents overcame a lot of things that it wasn't just telling you, right? Like they showed you.
Oh, I was walking through it with them. Yeah.
Yeah,
The smell of drywall still brings me back to home. My dad's an architect and he owned a construction company. And, we would do things when he had time and when he had money.
mhm,
He would focus on everybody else getting their things in order, their homes, their buildings.
right.
But that smell of drywall, that's like smells like home to me. I need to
Yeah,
make a candle out of it. Oh yeah, I watched them go through it and I remember I was in college, but my parents went through it like a very stressful financial time with um, being short on money. I'm not sure exactly all the details. I don't remember, but I
was this the late '80s?
this was no when I this was late 90s. My parents had a hard time. They had a hard time in the 80s. There was a hard time in the
Yeah,
90s. Like there was different times and my mom would always tell me, we are rich in the Lord.
right.
And my mom put a ton of emphasis on fun, and my grandma put a ton of emphasis on connection and family and faith.
Yeah,
And we grew up in a farm community, so it didn't even matter if we were poor. Like we always ate really
yeah,
well. There was 5 of us. I have 4 brothers. We all had clothing. It wasn't the greatest, but we always had enough.
right,
I felt like we had a rich life. It was
right.
really beautiful. And I think we have a ton of tenacity. I can go through a lot.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, this mentality of keeping up with the Joneses. That's not a like especially Midwest values,
Mhm.
right? Like, I mean, the Depression age parents that raised our parents,
Right.
right? So like even when my parents had money, we didn't get any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was, what are you going to do to make your own way? What are you going to do to earn it? Like I will give you opportunities, right? Like it's like
Right.
God, like you pray for patience. God's going to put you in places to give you opportunities to express patience.
Right.
Um, right? Like, okay, you want money, you want to, like, okay, I will help give you opportunities to make money. Or yes, you can borrow the lawnmower and the tools to go door to door and try to do landscaping at 12 years old. And, it worked, right? I made $1,200 one year, and I bought a brand new dirt bike from Town and Country Honda. Um, when a dirt bike brand new was 1,200 bucks, right?
Oh,
I
I love
actually, he chipped in $200 for it, but
it.
they taught us the importance and the value of working and working hard and being content, right? Because here's the thing, money doesn't buy happiness, right? Like that's something else that our world, like there's so many fundamental values that I wish we could just bring back and make mainstream again,
Mhm.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like especially raising kids and doing these
Yeah.
things, right?
Well, I think what would fix a lot of it is getting rid of social media because we all are watching everyone else's lives online. I even struggle with this sometimes. I'm like, oh, I'm not going on vacation right now. I'm the only one in Arizona. Like, why am I here and it's July or August or whatever, and I'm still here and everyone else is in Europe?
Right.
So I think our kids see it like, oh, everyone has brand new Nikes, everyone has a cell phone, everyone has a car. Like, how does everyone afford this?
They don't.
I mean, I'm like, is everyone maxing their credit cards and their
Yeah.
children maxing their credit cards? I mean, I'm
It,
even
it-
guilty of it. My daughter probably has nicer workout clothes than I have.
yeah,
Had that growing
it's a societal issue. But I mean, other countries on average save 10 to 20% of their income.
up.
Americans spend 1 to 5% more on the low side.
Right.
It's what makes us amazing. We're a consumer driven. It's why we have
Yeah.
power in the world. It's why we have leverage. Like,
Yeah.
but you know, it it's not healthy. And social media is evil for the reasons you just said. And it's constant. So not only are you not living your life, you're watching somebody else live their life, and you don't realize they had to take that picture 50 times. And
Right.
inside, what really matters? Inside, they're broken, and
Mm,
most likely they feel inadequate, and
mhm.
most likely that's why they have to go to social media for some sort of endorphin release, to make them relevant, right?
Right.
Like, I mean, it's such a big problem. Like when you really get into the psychology of it, right? I
Mhm.
should be comfortable in my own skin, and I should support your greatness if you're at a different level than me. And I should want to learn from that. Not necessarily, but what most people do is they turn inward, they feel inadequate, they get jealous, and then they actually end up kind of like lashing out against the people that they wish they were because they're not.
Right. I wonder what it's going to do to our society. I don't know. In some ways, I feel like my kids are healthier. My oldest sometimes takes breaks from social media, and I think my daughter is a lot of times more mature than I was at her age. I don't know.
Mm,
That's all they know. Like I think us as outsiders were like, oh, it's or not outsiders as like we grew up without it, so we remember how much better it was.
right.
All they've ever known, though.
Right. They had cell phones from the time they don't remember payphones. They don't remember having to pull over at a payphone, open a phone book, find a business, find an address, call them, find out if they were open. Do you have a quarter in your pocket? Right.
Oh yeah, my dad would always make me carry one in my wallet.
Yeah. My wife jokes about that as she wasn't allowed to leave the house without change for the payphone just
Yeah,
in case.
yeah.
And you
Oh,
had to remember people's numbers or keep something on you that had them. Right now we
right.
walk around with these little computers, and it kind of makes us mindless in a way, right? Like we're not really we're not really engaged in living. It was a much simpler time then. Like I think that constant, because we need peace and tranquility and silence and isolation sometimes to reconnect with ourselves. And if we're
Mhm.
just being completely inundated with propaganda, and that's what I call it, right? Whether it's the news or
Yeah.
everybody's got an agenda, like everybody is advertising, right? That's why I love what you do, because it's like old school, real stuff that people could care about. Like, hey, I got a letter. It was a handwritten card from, ABC Plumbing, whatever it is, those are things. that people like we've done that and we do that. And I think people appreciate it because it's not this constant bombardment. It's take it or leave it. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know.
I think on that note, I mean, someone is listening to this right now, and if they got to this point, thank you for listening. I would like to kind of wrap this up by asking you what would be the advice for an entrepreneur? Because I'm thinking most of the people that are listening to this are business owners,
Mhm.
or entrepreneurs, or people who are interested in that and maybe scared to step out and take that leap of faith. What advice would you give to someone who's newly started or considering this? What would you say to someone new?
Mm.
Or to your own children, to your own, I mean, you gave your son advice recently, it sounds like on a
Yeah,
night. But what would you
so
tell them?
once you get past the very basic research that should be done anytime you're going to invest your time, money, and energy into something, right? Like, is there a need?
Mhm.
Um, and is there an opportunity and is there a market? And can I produce the 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 necessity for what the market will allow? Right. There's a lot of great ideas that, people don't have $1 million for that one thing, right? You know what I mean? So if that basic, if you have that, then I would say follow your heart and your passion, right? Like if you do something you enjoy every day, it's not work,
Yeah.
right? Like, so yeah, you could make $1 million in auto glass, but if it's not in your passion, like if it's not in your, like, yeah, don't do it, right? Like you can make money anywhere. And I think the most so I think people put the wrong priority first. Again, it's have fun, help people, make money.
Yeah.
That is the basic ingredient for success in any
You,
business in any industry. That's my belief.
and you would say that to someone who's been in business for 20 years too. You would say the same thing to the person who's starting as to the person who's been in for 20.
Yeah. Yeah, because if I'm not passionate to come here, and I think you can hear it in my voice, like I'm a passionate person, and what I love about my industry is like every day is a challenge to grow, to pivot. Like, there is nothing that stays the same. The only thing that never changes is that everything always changes. Right? So you got to constantly be ready to pivot,
Yeah.
to analyze, and I thrive in that. Like if I don't have fires and I don't have things that really, like, I tend to get lazy. This business keeps me like very engaged, and
Mhm.
um I thrive on that ability, right? So like I know I'm where I'm supposed to be. And it's not auto glass, right? Like now it's the people, it's
Right.
the development, it's the, like all boats rise with a rising tide, right? Like so if I do a good job building all these people, they're going to promote me. They're going to keep pushing me up because there's nowhere else for them. Like they can't go forward unless I go forward, but I have to do it for them first. I can't just say I want to be here, right? I'm
Right.
super passionate about that. Like I love it, right? So if you're having fun and helping people, and it's an industry or a career or something that that there's a demand, then you're going to be successful. There's just really no way you can't.
Right. Yep. I love it.
And the last thing I would say is hard work beats talent. Most of the time, talent is too lazy to show up. And
Yeah.
I'm not the smartest guy. I started a family when I was 16 years old. My wife and I are, we're fortunate. We have a 30-year-old daughter.
Oh my
She
gosh.
finished high school. I did not. Hard work beats talent. And you don't have, it doesn't matter where you come from, and college is not required, and you don't need a degree. You need a vision
Mhm.
and you need ambition, and then you need to have the fortitude to get up and put your boots on every day and get your ass to work.
Yep. Amen to that. I think you answered this question already. This is how we'll end it. But who has been the biggest influence in your life?
My father, hands down. Um, he's just a great man. He's a great man of God. He loves his family. I couldn't say enough things about him. There's not enough time.
Yeah.
But they say more is caught than taught.
Mm.
And it's kind of strange because I thought I never wanted to be like him
Mhm.
when I was young, when I was a child. Like I'm never going to be like you. You know, I mean, him and I butted heads, and really, my mom laughs now because it was because we were so similar.
Yeah.
Um, but now I am so grateful that I caught all the things I hated him for trying to teach me
Mhm.
because now that I'm an adult and I can actually recognize the absolute fortunate position and just to be born into that family that mother and father that love you so much to encourage and to say no, to teach, right?
Mhm.
Like to make you do it on your own, to make you self-reliant, to give you those tools to be able to survive in life. And then now I can provide those tools to my children. Um, Moving out here from the Midwest and having Midwest farm values to, like the wild, wild West 80s Arizona, right? Like we didn't fit in. Um,
Right.
and that was different, but eating dinner together every night, having family values, never missing church on Sunday, going to religious education, standing for something, like having a belief system, and then I mean, I could go on and on. He's a great man.
Oh, I
And
love
my mother makes him a great man because,
totally.
right, you know what I mean? Like, let's not discount moms, but
Yes.
you know, yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, I can't wait for them to hear this and to know what an influence they've been on your life. You're so blessed. I love
Absolutely.
that you see it, that you recognize it, and I love that you are using that all that love and all of that training that you've had, from a child to now to pour back into your own family and into your business family. It's an incredible thing to see, and I'm so glad we had this conversation today and
Yeah.
looking forward to other people hearing it too. So, thanks
Yeah,
so
thank you
much.
so much. I really enjoyed it, and I just wish you the best, and
Thank you.
I can't wait to see it.
Thanks.
Have
Thanks again for joining us today on the Driven Podcast, where we are all about growing relationships in life and business. We hope today's story reminded you that behind every brand, every business, and every big idea, there is a real person choosing to show up, stay rooted, and lead with intention. Your story matters. So keep building, keep loving, and keep doing the hard, beautiful work of showing up in both life and business. We'll catch you next time with another real, inspiring conversation. And until then, never let love and kindness leave you. Always be a fountain, not a drain. And don't ever forget that you are the best.